Alright, in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to take your camshafts off. We're going to be going over how to take the valves out, intake and exhaust valves. We're going to be going over how to take those out. We are also going to be lapping the valve seats with cutting grease to make sure each valve is sitting flush. Don't go from right to left. You have a chance of warping your camshaft when you do that. So what you need to do is do these two bolts on the right first. You go over to the left, do the two bolts on the far left. Come back over to the right, do the next two bolts. Pretty much do it the same way that you would do your cylinder head bolts. You want to do the same way for these camshaft bolts. We don't want to warp this camshaft. These are numbered. There's a 2 right there, 3, 4, 5. When you take these out, you want to put them back into their same spots. It goes from right to left. Don't forget that. Another thing that I want to mention is when you take these bolts out, you want to keep them with the coupling that you take them out of. My daughter's helping me. You see?
Okay, I think this one's done. Okay, this one's done.
And try to remember the positioning of the camshafts before you take them out. This is what they look like. Top dead center mark is right here. It's not even lined up to where it should be, okay, so we gotta retime it anyway. Those go in the bag too. So let me go ahead and put this in a bag, pull it up. Don't forget, this is the positioning of the camshaft sensors. This is what they are positioned like. But we gotta retime the shit anyway, so. But yeah, once you get the camshafts out, now you gotta get these out. Okay, now once you get to this part, what you wanna do is grab a magnet and a 1/2 inch drive socket. I got a 5/8 right here. But yeah, get a 1/2 inch drive socket, put the magnet on the end of that. And then what you want to do is compress that spring. You want to compress the spring inside of there, and the magnet will hold on to the retainer clips. There's 2 little metal clips on the tip of that valve. And once you compress the spring, the magnet will catch those clips. And then when you decompress the spring, everything will be disassembled. You do the same thing for each valve. So I couldn't get the valve springs out. I brought them over to my mom's trusted mechanic, and he's showing me the way to get it out.
Cheating way.
You gotta put a 1/2 inch extension on your socket and hit the end of the socket with the hammer, and that'll compress the spring just enough to get that clip out. And then in the process of removing the valves, we found this piece of metal inside. So that means there could be a busted, the cylinder head could be busted. It could be a piece of metal that came off the piston, or it could be, you know, a piece of metal that broke off of something else and got sucked into there. So okay, so now I'm back from working with that mechanic on helping me get these valves out. He told me the way to tell if your valves are good or bad is just by rolling them on the table. So I'm going to take his advice. He's a mechanic for over 35 years. So I'm going to listen. And that rolls good. There's no wiggle, as you guys can see. So that's a good valve. Test this one. That's rolling good. There's no wobble at all. So that's a good valve. Alright, so my next course of action, I'm about to head to O'Reilly's, get the 2 exhaust valves that are bent replaced. Then I'm going to get some cutting grease and some lapping valve grease. And we're going to lap each valve to their cylinder. Make sure it's sitting flush, and then we're going to do the test. After looking at the seats themselves, they actually look pretty good already. Not any scratches. Alright.
No, I'm just drawing pictures on every single one. Every single human.
I'm done scratching up all the dirt that was on the edge. That's what it's looking like. So now I'm about to start grinding the valves and lapping the valves. I bought this from O'Reilly's, this metal grinding compound. It has coarse grade and fine grade. You want to use the coarse grade first and fine grade second.
Honey! Still not
Attached to the end with this little piece. And that's how we're going to grind the valves.
Wait, can I try? Oh my god, it works.
It just came off.
Yep.
So can you cut the video?
Oh, that's pretty. I see a big white circle. Don't touch it. Hayden, no.
Mama cut the doctor in the
And that's what it looks like after being cut with the fine grade.
Good job.
See that compared to that?
Ooh,
That's big. And that
You can tell that's been cut.
way nicer.
And then if you look
That
at
one's
this,
good.
that edge is
Smooth.
Smooth.
smooth now.
Yep, that's really good.
What I'm
That's
going to do
really
is
good.
put more cutting grease and go back in. I'm going to do it 2 times for each one.
It looks like.
And then we're going to put the fine grade.
How did you make it smooth?
But yeah, that's what it looks like after being grinded and lapped. Not a single indentation. No scratches. And that's before it got lapped. So you can see the difference. After, before. Oh yeah, another thing I want to say is while you're lapping the valves, make sure you put a coat of oil on the stem before you stick it into the hole. And make sure that hole is clear of any debris. Because if there's anything in there, that'll cut the stem when you spin it. But then I just noticed this one right here has a bend in it. You guys can see. There's a big ass gap right there. You can see that gap. And that's sitting all the way flat, so that needs to be replaced. All the rest of these are looking good. There's no gaps in any of these, so that means they're not bent. But that one right there was slightly bent. I almost missed it. So good thing I noticed that. And now we're about to get that replaced as well. Alright, time for the water test. Spark plugs are tightened down. Let's see. So we got the water maxed out on all three. Ooh, cylinder 3 is leaking for sure. That's probably because of that new valve right there. That needs to be lapped in. But this cylinder and this cylinder are holding the water. As you guys can see, the water level is the same. That water level is the same. This water leaked. I don't know which valve leaked. It's probably this brand new one. Let's check the fourth one. The brand new ones are probably going to leak on this one too. Let's see. No, it's holding pressure. Okay, after I opened up the exhaust side, I found water was leaking in this first cylinder. So this actually is not good. These got to be lapped even further. I thought they were good. They're not good. These three are good. No water leaked out on this side. I just checked. So these need to be a little bit further. I gotta do the brand new one over here. I'm gonna just do all three of these over here actually. I didn't see no water come out on the exhaust on this side. So I'm thinking it has to be these over here.
So then, when you put your backpack on, you have to do it like this.
Wait, so
That's how much cutting grease I'm using.
put your hand to there.
And then I oil up the stem every time before I put it in there.
Other one, right? Wait, don't.
I'm using motor oil, 10W40, to oil up the stem. I go one direction, then I switch it back to the other way. And then I like to just do like this, go in and out slowly, just to give it like that beginning cut over and over again. It just gives it a better and deeper cut. You want to make sure when you're doing this that you're pulling it straight back in a straight. You don't want to go up or down. You want to go straight as possible. Because if you go up or down, you'll end up grinding way too much on the top or the bottom, and it'll cause leaks. So as straight as possible. All right. Looks like they're all holding so far. But we'll just give it a little bit of time. We'll come back in like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And we'll see if the water level has changed.
But can I use the phone?
Okay, so we got a leak right here on the right side, as you guys can see. I took the napkin out. It was wet. But let's look inside and see where it's actually leaking from.
Right here. It's leaking right here.
Looks like it's leaking from the left.
It's leaking right here.
Yep, it's coming out of the very left. You guys can see.
Oi!
So that tells me it's this one. Because it's coming out from the left. It's not coming out from the middle. It's not coming out from the right. It's coming out from the left.
No, I think it's this one. Because if it goes right here, it stands right there and just goes right there. So I think it's this one.
But no matter what, we're going to go back and redo these two. That's what that tells me. I got to go back and re-lap those even further.
Look, my tooth was like.
Let's check the rest of these napkins.
There's no wetness.
This is a little bit wet actually, so we got to lap those even further. This is all the way wet.
That's not leaking. That's
So, I mean, these two both got to get lapped further. This top one and this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Damn, I'm still got to do a lot more work, it looks like.
There's some water is leaking right here, inside here.
If you look at this one, this is dry over here. Dry. This one, dry. So these are good. This one, dry. This one,
Whoa.
dry. So these two wells are all the way good. Looks like all I got to do is these two and these 4. Because I already did that one. So let's get back to work. Now that we got that all dried up, we'll take the spark plugs out. Let's check this one. Completely dry except for on the left side. So yes, that needs to go a little further because it did seep down inside of this one. Let's check this one. Yep, water got inside of there, so both of those need to go further down with the grinding. Both of these. Actually, not this one. These two. So these two, and then these two. Because this was, yep, it's wet, so. Yep. That shows me. That's just a good way to double check. Now you guys see, you can see the physical proof. The water was on the stem, so you're able to tell. All right. Water test number 3. We already know these two are done, so I'm not even going to go back through and test them again because we already know they're good. But let's go ahead and test this one more time. What I did was I put cutting grease and did 2 runs of that. Ooh, I already seen a bubble. I don't know if I seen the bubble in the spark plug or what. But yeah, I went 2 times with the cutting grease and then 1 time with the lapping grease on every single valve. So let's see what that does. We'll let the water sit for like 20 minutes and then I'll be right back. Okay, so after test number 3, I thought there was no leaks, but actually there is. It doesn't look like it moved much when it comes to the water level. But yeah, it's leaking out of the left side over here. I can see it. It's not the right at all. I put my finger up in there and there's no water on the right side. So it's only the left one. That one right there. And then on this one, it's the right one. This left one's good. So that left one, that right one. Then if you look over here, we actually got leaks on the other side too. I thought it was good, but nope. Gotta go back in. But on this side, looks like it's coming out the left. It's not really coming out the middle or the right, so I got 3 more to do. That's what it's looking like. Thought I was done, but the test proved otherwise.
You're gonna make me laugh.
It needs to actually be more this way. There we go. Alright, let's watch for bubbles. Okay, it's been like 5 minutes. Water level is the same on these two after 5 minutes. This one over here looks a little lower. So I'm really hoping. Let's check this rag. No wetness. Let's check the right side. It's only been 5 minutes, but I just want to check soon. Because if it's dripping, it'll be dripping by now. Oh shit. No wetness. Let's check this one. Oh shit. I think we might have did it. The right side is wet though. So there's still a leak over here somewhere. Fuck. Alright, so this is the valve that was leaking. I took it out. This is what it looks like. I'm thinking this is bent. You can kind of see when I spin it with my finger like this.
Yeah, I got it.
If you look at the tip,
Woo!
it rotates.
I did not know that was coming out.
So
I don't know. What's that?
I can't find where the bend is at. It's too small to see. So I put in the other valve that was bent from before. You can actually see the bend on this one. So what I'm going to do is pound it in with the rubber mallet right now. You guys can see. Let's see how that's looking. I think that might have did it. Let me try to spin it. But yeah, that's what I'm going to try for this valve now. I'll get back to you guys in a second. Alright. Water test number 6. After slapping that in there with the mallet, like I just showed you guys. This is the one I took out. Has a slight bend to it. And the edges were kind of paper thin. And there's a couple notches actually in the edge here. So that's why I took this one out. But the other one, yeah, it's looking like it's holding. I haven't seen the water level decrease yet. Oh, spoke too soon.
Daddy,
There goes some water.
Daddy. I don't really know.
Okay, test number 7. Or this might even be number 8. But let's wiggle this. Show you guys the water is in there. And now let's check for leaks.
Okay, let's get this out.
Not seeing nothing, no water coming out from there.
Okay, yeah, I got this. Now I just need a blanket. Put that on. I need like 9,000 blankets. No, I'm just kidding. Every time I step on this, I feel the ground.
No water coming out from there.
Yeah, there's really.
I think we did it. Alright, after cleaning the piston wells and the tops of the pistons, I was just checking for damage. I didn't see any damaged pistons. There's no damage on, well, actually the second piston right here, I seen a little bit of damage, but let me just go grab a couple paper towels and we'll see the actual But yeah, this is after cleaning up all that water. We got a couple nicks right there. Nothing too major. This is the valves. This is the third valve. This is the one that had the bent valves. And that's the damage from it. That ain't really that bad. So pistons are looking good. We'll have to see how they slide later. So the cylinder head passed the water test. It holds pressure. The pistons look good. There's no damage to them. All we got to do next is resurface the head. I'll show you guys that on the next video. We got to resurface the head. Then we got to reinstall the valves. Put the new valve stem seals in. I'm just waiting on the gasket set to come in the mail right now. So yeah, if you like what you see on my page, hit that subscribe button. Like, comment, share. Let everybody know, because we're trying to get this shit to 1 million subscribers, 1 million views. Let's get this shit popping, man. You see what's going on. It's your boy D11 Auto. Let's get it.